All right, friends, we're gonna do a basic video on the basic slave here. Our friend Jason Blaha, the gym lifting, recruiting, lifting slave himself. We're gonna do a reaction video to this video he just posted. Yes, Jason Blaha says basic exercises and consistency in the gym is the biohack. Oh, it is it? Let's see if that's really true. Okay.
Basic exercises and consistency will get people way further than almost anything else they can do in the gym. Hey everybody, I thought I would chat with you guys.
Way further than anybody in the gym. Okay. Basic consistency, huh? Consistently breaking your body down. Here's the thing. It can become an obsession to constantly stress your body, get an inflammatory response, constantly inflaming your muscles with inflammation, and then eating an artificial diet, inflaming your gut, inflaming it, looking like you have a baby all the time, and shitting and farting all day long. That could be addictive, I guess. That's consistency, is that for you? That's consistency for you. And then ending up with sarcopenia, metabolic diseases, skin diseases, your teeth falling out, your hair falling out, and who knows what else, man. Your sex drive fell out, your testosterone is like 200. Everything is consistent. It's very failure can be very consistent. You can be very consistent in destroying yourself in accelerated aging. Yes, there's a lot of people that are consistent in breaking their bodies down in gyms constantly, breaking and breaking and breaking and breaking. You think your body had enough of that, man? It's like, hey man, I had enough of this shit, bro. Man, are you ever gonna build me up or something? Go eat some real food and build me up. I'm like, no, I'm too cheap. I gotta buy McDonald's and Coca-Colas all day. I gotta feed you crap all day, and then I gotta work you like a slave in the gym, be consistent in making you lift these weights all day, and your body's going, man, I had enough of this, bro. I gotta sleep all day. Blaha's like, no, I can't allow you to sleep. I can't allow you to relax. We have to destroy ourselves. The more consistent we are at destroying ourselves, the better. Yeah, man.
You guys a little bit about this today. These are the topics that I feel like doesn't get discussed enough anymore. When I see the content that's out there, so many people want to have a new gimmick, right?
Yeah, I see that too, Blaha, new gimmick. I don't use any new gimmicks. I use actually real science, man, to prove my points. But my points are based on experience. I already know these things.
It's always a new supplement, a new exercise. I found this magical exercise that will change everything, or they've always got some.
No, it's not a magical exercise. You want to know what it is? You just have to repeat that thing that you got in the beginning when you were a newbie. But then you have to additionally add things to it now every time because you already got something. You understand me? It's like it's like an investment. You put money into an account, right? And you're hoping that your money will double, triple, and then quadruple. What's the point of putting it in an investment if it doesn't do that? Now, when an investment doubles, now it has chances to quadruple now, doesn't it? Now for example, if you put in $1 and you just made $1, well, each dollar now is gonna double, right? And then when they double, there's $4 there, right? And now each one is gonna double. You understand me? They're gonna keep doubling consistently. Your investment is gonna grow. But your problem is you went to the gym and you stopped eating and you ate a slave diet, but you stopped eating and you stopped doing what you got in the beginning when you got your newbie gains. Number one, you're not untrained. You're not untrained or unaccustomed or unfamiliar with your exercise. Number two, you don't allow even if you were to get, I know, you have to allow your muscles to repair and remodel, even if they do get damaged. And to push that domain, you need to be in a positive nitrogen balance. Protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. So you have to consistently eat protein after your workout once a week, and now allow it to repair and remodel. And you need to be in a positive nitrogen balance. And when you do eat after your workout, your body will shut it off. That's how you will know. you will know. That's how you push that M&D size limit. That's how you will know. Every week you come in and you work out, you're going to notice you're going to eat just a little bit more, because it has to support the gains that you got. Plus, it has to support the repair and remodeling and massing of those myofibrillars as well. Get it, dude? Yeah. So you have to double, triple, quadruple your investment, broski. Otherwise, forget it. You're wasting your time if you're not doing that. And none of you are doing that. And Cocoa Puffs don't work. Like, breaking your body down and then eating a bowl of Cocoa Puffs and I don't know, and eating a box of Smarties and then eating some like Fruit Loops, that doesn't do it, dude, and a box of donuts. That's not enough, and that's fake food. That doesn't build muscles. Meat, animal protein builds muscles. Sorry, dude.
Biohack. You know, it seems like people are trying to sell or promote a shortcut, and the reality is, a lot of times that's just marketing.
Am I selling you a shortcut? Am I selling you like fake reality shortcut? No, I'm telling you straight. Money builds bodies. If you don't have money to eat, don't waste your time, bro.
And what people really do need to hear, they really need to hear.
And if you don't like damaging your muscle fibers, then don't do it. Here's the thing. If you don't like damaging your muscle fibers and allowing them to repair and remodel, and if you don't like growing them by being in a positive nitrogen balance, protein synthesis exceeds this breakdown, and doing that every single week, then don't do it. Be a lifting slave, go into the gym and be a small guy, a small pretend strong guy, lifting these weights forever, like Blaha, a small pretend strong guy.
Is that most of your...
He has to wear a shirt that says deadlift on it so everybody knows. He goes to a place where everybody knows his name.
results in the gym, right? Most of your results in the gym are going to come from basic exercises.
No, they're not. Most of the gains in the gym, they're not going to come from basic exercises. They're going to come from when protein synthesis exceeds that breakdown and you're in positive nitrogen balance, and you can push that myonuclear domain. Every time you damage and now the progenitor is active, you need to hypertrophy those muscles. If they don't hypertrophy, they won't grow. They won't grow if they don't hypertrophy. And the only way they can hypertrophy is in positive nitrogen balance, anabolic state. You have to be, protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown. And if it's not, forget it. It will not hypertrophy. And then the next time you damage the muscle fibers, if you try to keep damaging them, thinking that, oh, it's going to magically build automatically by themselves on my Cocoa Puff diet, forget it. They're not gonna donate their nuclei. They're not going to support further muscle growth. They only support further muscle growth when they reach a what? A ceiling limit during hypertrophic process. If they don't reach a ceiling limit during hypertrophic process, and the next time you come in and damage them, the following time you come in to damage them, then forget it. Nothing's going to happen. You understand me? Every week it has to reach a ceiling limit, and then you damage it, and then it donates its nuclei, and so forth and so on, and then you can push that domain. Otherwise, forget it, dude.
And they're going to come from consistency. Okay. Now I'm talking about gym.
You know what's gonna come when you consistently break your body down? A zero. You're gonna look like Blaha, like you've never lifted a weight in your entire life. Yeah.
Results, things like body fat, obviously your diet's going to be number one. And do not let anyone convince you.
Oh, your diet's going to be number one, but you're not focused on diet. You're focused on breaking your body down, because in your brain, in the brain, you think, I'm building muscles. We're building muscles. What the weights are building them. See, look, they're building. They're fusing and building. They're constructing.
Otherwise, in other words, if anyone is convincing you that they have a special routine that is going to get you ripped, it's just simply not true.
A special routine that'll get you ripped? There's no special routine. You just starve yourself and you'll get ripped. Now, you don't have to starve yourself. Here's the thing. The more protein you eat, the leaner you will get, because it sees this as we're not in a famine. So we can release all the fat cells. We can get rid of it because we got plenty of protein coming in. Meat protein, like, highly nutrient diet, nutrients, not sugar, drugs. and toxins.
We lift weights mainly to gain muscle. They'll improve body composition. You'll gain muscle.
We don't lift weights to gain muscle. We lift weights to damage muscles so that the progenitor can donate its nuclei to support further muscle growth. And we eat we are in a positive nitrogen balance. We eat protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown so that we can reach a ceiling limit during hypertrophic process. If we don't reach a ceiling limit during hypertrophic process, the next time if we do get this damage, it won't support further muscle growth. It won't donate its nuclei. It won't do anything. It won't do anything. Trust me.
Obviously, that helps metabolic rate. Obviously, we burn a few calories from it. But by and large, the biggest chunk of your fat loss results from lifting is going to come from just the increased metabolic rate. And that can get
I don't know. If you're working out twice a week, man, you're eating a lot of protein. As long as you don't eat carbs. I mean, most people like the pump. They're so addicted to the pump, you know. They want to eat the best carb for pump is complex carbohydrates like potatoes. They give you the best pumps. But, you know, you don't really need that. To tell the truth, you don't really need a lot of that. Maybe yes and no. Yeah, maybe, you know, it helps, kinda, you know, but you don't really particularly need that. And yeah, I don't know, you know, you may load some sarcoplasmic hypertrophy in there and then eventually you're going to have to leak it out. You have to get rid of it eventually with time. I don't know. You can confuse, man. I wouldn't confuse. Protein builds muscle.
Substantial over time, but that is not.
Carbohydrates do not build muscles. Starch does not build muscles. Carbs do not build muscles. They're sugar. Sugar does not build muscles. It's an energy source. It's just an energy source. It's a drug, is what it is.
Something that happens in a short period of time, right? For you to see a really substantial improvement in metabolic rate from working out.
You don't from where a high metabolic rate from working out. You don't really want a high metabolic rate. It's associated with bad things. That's why it's more inclusive, more intelligent to work out once a week and damage your muscles. You work out, you damage them, they actually get damaged. Yeah. They actually get damaged, once a week. They actually get damaged providing you were in a positive nitrogen balance that whole week. So they'll get damaged, especially if they've been repaired and remodeled. If they haven't been repaired and remodeled, forget, dude. And then, but they haven't been repaired and remodeled because you weren't in a positive nitrogen balance again. Man, again, you didn't reach a ceiling limit during hypertrophic process by the end of the week. By the end of the 7th day of the week, you need to reach a ceiling limit during hypertrophic process when you get this damage. Otherwise, the next time you come in and you damage, you can't push that domain. Forget it. You have to keep pushing that domain. It has to reach a ceiling limit. And only then can you get the progenitor to donate its nuclei. But only then, but only if they're damaged. If they're not damaged, they won't donate their nuclei.
You're looking at years. Right, you're looking at years.
You're looking at years. You're looking at years. And I'm telling you, you're just looking at 2-3 months and you're going to be massive and super strong in 2-3 months. If you listen to me in 2-3, I guarantee 2-3 months doing that every single week, 3-4 months, you're going to be massive and super strong, bro. Get it?
No idea that you're going to necessarily get ripped from what you're doing in the gym. Probably not the case unless they just have you doing hours and hours of cardio. But then again, it's more efficient to just eat less and add more protein. But as far as...
Eat less and add more protein, did he just say? Eat less. What do you mean eat less and add more protein? That doesn't make any sense. That's your diet protein.
Is our gym...
Look how old he looks, man. He looks 80. He looks 80, moving on 85 already. He looks like he's 85.
Results themselves. Basic exercises. Now, I'm not saying...
Mr. Shako, is that you? Jesus, you're looking old these days.
Machines can't have their place. No one is making that statement. Not saying machines don't build muscle. Not saying certain smaller, specific isolation exercises don't build muscle, because they obviously can. So let's get that out of the way. But flavor of the month exercises bring nothing to the table, and it's always something new. I don't even know what it is at the moment, but I remember different phases where it was hip thrusts, then it was above the knee rack pulls, these trends. And am I saying...
What about those exercises, knee rack pulls, above the whatever? They were exhibitionists. That was for entertainment purposes only. That's just goofy stuff.
A hip thrust can't build muscle. No, I'm not saying that. In fact,
a hip thrust can't build muscle. How the hell can a hip thrust build a muscle? Does it build it out of breatharian diets, or what is it? Does it build it out of thin air?
Pretty decent exercise. Okay, it's a pretty decent exercise, but it came into vogue, and I can honestly say that it coming into vogue, you didn't necessarily see on average people getting better physiques from it. You really didn't, or building much better.
I'm going to tell you, I've never done a hip thrust in my entire life. In my entire lifting career, I've never done a hip thrust ever. Maybe I should try it one time and see what it's about. I don't know.
Or any of those things, but it's a good exercise, and I'm not knocking it, but it's not a game changer. Sorry, it just isn't. Biomechanics doesn't support it. Data doesn't support it. The above the knee rack pull was always a stupid exercise.
You mean for breaking down proteins or getting muscle damage? Which one? Breaking down proteins or muscle damage? If you're breaking down proteins all the time in the gym, I told you before, man, you're just protein turnover. You're just restoring that which you lost all the time in the gym. Unless, of course, protein synthesis exceeds that breakdown. But when it does, you reach a ceiling limit. You understand me? And so now you need the progenitor to donate its nuclei to do what? To support further muscle growth. Without them, forget it. They synthesize protein. They form new myotubes, and then they bind with those myotubes and the existing tubes to support further muscle growth. These are muscle cells. They fuse with fibers. The cells fuse with fibers, and those cells can get bigger. That's called hyperplasia. Do you understand me? In order for you to support further during hypertrophic process, hypertrophy, to support further hypertrophy, you need muscle cells. That's hyperplasia. That's caused through damage. When muscles are damaged, the progenitor comes out, it differentiates, it proliferates and differentiates into fibroblasts, myoblasts, cells, whatever. And then they fuse, they create myotubes and a bunch of stuff. They create new sarcomeres, new fibers, a bunch of things. Okay, dude? So that's what they do. They fuse with these fibers, the cells. When the cells fuse, that means they fused. Now, in order for them to hypertrophy, protein synthesis needs to exceed that breakdown still, but also in the repair and the remodeling. Jesus. Look, in bodybuilding, you're just getting smaller all the time. If you're adapted lifting slave in the gym, you're just shrinking all the time. I'm shrinking. You're lifting and shrinking, lifting and shrinking. You're not lifting and building. You're lifting and shrinking. Now, in muscle damage, you're getting a necrosis. You understand me? You're getting a degradation and a necrosis. Again, you kind of are shrinking, but then you're growing. You get it? There's a little bit of shrinking, but then there's more growth on top of it because you're in a positive nitrogen balance and you're repairing and remodeling the entire week.
Okay, and again, it was debunked long ago. It was a little trendy thing, and then most of the best experts just kind of laughed at it, and then it died out. But people need to remember it was hot for a while. Okay, same thing. People will always, well, I'm trying to do this carnivore diet or this raw vegan.
There's no such thing as carnivore diet. You are a carnivore. You eat meat. It's a behavior, Blaha.
Diet. And look, I'm not telling people they shouldn't be eating more whole foods. But remember when we had the whole vogue of the junk food thing with the serious if it fits your macro? When we had the whole vogue of the junk food thing with the serious if it fits your macros, massive internet trend. And I'm not saying counting calories and macros doesn't work. Obviously it can, but for most people, that was not as effective as you would think.
I'm going to tell you, fake food doesn't build muscles, but they will build artificial muscles called sarcoplasmic muscles, and you'll misconstrue them as being real. And then you'll be, my gains are going all the time. I left the gym, my gains are going. I got to keep supporting them by eating what? Eating this artificial diet, fake food.
Okay, take certain.
You want to maintain the artificial fake gains by eating fake food, and then you want to maintain those lifts by being a lifting slave. Get it? Yeah.
Personality types to really make that work. So it's not a magic secret, but everyone's looking for these tricks. Okay, the truth is,
Yeah, and then you become like him, a gym lifting slave. You've turned yourself into that which you didn't want. A gym lifting slave.
truth is, for most people, basic exercises. Right? Some of them I'm doing are basic in here. You know, it's basic upper body stuff. You're seeing some upright rows, some bench press, weighted pull ups, some curls.
Oh yeah.
You know, basic stuff. Lower body things, you know, squats, deadlifts, good mornings, leg presses, Romania deadlifts, you know, some standing calf raises, right? These are basic exercises. Doing some tricep extensions.
Yeah, these are basic exercises. What are exercises for? What are they for? To make you better at doing them? Listen, man? Do you want to stay there and you have to keep practicing at being good at doing like pull-ups and lifting this weight and your arms and all that? Then do what Blaha says and he'll turn you into a lifting gym slave. Get it? Yeah.
Skull crushers, you know, with an easy bar.
Now, if you want to be a beast and be super strong and come in and really show people what you're really made of, then you'll listen to what I said. You'll build yourself. You'll go all out and build yourself big and strong. But if you're not serious, you won't go all out. So there's no point. You understand me? People ask me, can you do those videos again, you know, about, you know, how you build muscle, this, that, muscle damage, that, hyperplasia. Yeah, I can do them. I can do them from here to high heaven. But guess what? I know that you'll never do it. You'll never go and eat that amount of protein. You'll never go and spend the money and eat like that after your workout because you prefer to be a gym lifting slave and complain about everybody's taking steroids.
These all count as basic exercises.
So what's the point?
Okay? Other stuff that you're doing isn't necessarily going to be better. People choose to use those things for whatever reason, because at the end of the day, resistance is resistance. But they do require more equipment. They even require working in, so I mean,
I don't know, do they?
That's the thing with the basic stuff. If you're doing these all the time, they're part of your program.
Yeah.
They can be done just about anywhere. You're not relying upon a specific machine.
Okay.
You're not having to wait for equipment at the gym, because how often are you seeing that? People get so caught up in this individual piece of equipment, instead of just saying, hey, can I do an exercise with a barbell and a dumbbell to work the same movement? It's just a normal part of my routine.
Okay.
As soon as it's broke at the gym.
Right.
As soon as they're having to wait for stuff, you know, their routine is disrupted. And I've watched that happen for decades, you know, when people decide they have
Right. Yes, Blaha. Okay.
to have that one machine. And then they're not used to stabilizing anything because they're not doing as much free weights. And then they can't have a good workout. Okay? Whereas if people mostly just did basic exercises, then work in the small stuff you need. Look, if your side delts need more work, by all means, some lateral raises with a dumbbell or a cable, great. It could be great exercises. Okay? Great exercises. You need more upper chest, man, some incline barbell. I like the
Yeah, these are great exercises. Exercises are going to build your body. Yes.
barbell. You know, the dumbbells, same thing. You know, God, if you need some dumbbell flies, go for it. No one's saying not to.
Yeah, just do some dumbbell flies forever. Do them forever.
But it's the reliant upon the other stuff that people seem to have, and then they have bad workouts. And I see them, couldn't get a good workout because I couldn't get my normal piece of equipment. But if you were just used to basic exercises, you would have got a good workout. Because there's probably more than one bench. There's more than one barbell. There's tons of dumbbells probably at almost any gym you go to. I promise you can find a squat rack and a leg press in almost every major gym. Okay? Basic stuff. And consistency. Okay? Instead of this whole idea, I'm going to find this secret weapon. Why don't you just come in and work really hard for the next 2 or 3 years? Okay? Everyone who gets the real results, how many of the influencers people are following with amazing results when you really listen? I've been training for 17 years. You know, that's how often do you hear that? Let's consider the fact oftentimes they're decently genetically gifted. Okay? They're the guys who are and gals who are really doing it well as influencers are probably not the average Joe. They have a few gifts. They got a couple.
Oh, yeah, right on.
well, little bonuses in there, or else they probably wouldn't be that successful. Okay? You combine that with them, I've been doing this 17 years. Well, my God, they got consistency. But do you see the difference? They don't have a biohack for you. They don't have a secret. They just been working hard for 17 years. Okay? That's their magic secret. And that's the reality of it. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today.
That's their magic secret, bro. Get it? The weights built their bodies. Anyways, man, you tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Comment down below. Helps with the algorithm, broski. Yeah, man. You can live forever. It ain't ever gonna build your body. If anything, you're gonna shrink and get small. Labor work shrinks people down. Especially, I see them as they get older there, and they retire at 65, and they're still working in a factory, bro. They practically shrink almost to nothing. See you in the next one. Ciao, friends.